How's it going, all you beautiful people? I want to talk a little bit about one of the most popular words in the Pokemon TCG hobby, MSRP. Towards the end of last year, a lot of products saw a dip. The overall Pokemon market dropped about 20 to 30% across the board to end 2025. But to start 2026, if you were to compare a lot of prices at the beginning of 2026 to now, and it's only been about 2.5 months, you'll see that a lot of products have gone up a ton. A ton. I have a video on every single ETB and the prices from January 1st to basically every week since the beginning of the year. So if you're interested in how much those ETBs have gone up, you can watch my video. But just those ETBs alone, every single ETB is up from Scarlet and Violet base to Phantasmal Flames since the beginning of the year, and that's just the ETBs I kept track of. But I do have videos if you want to check them out in previous videos. But every single video, every single Pokemon box and product has gone up since the beginning of the year, essentially. So I want to talk a little bit about MSRP. Towards the end of last year, a lot of people were saying that Pokemon products are going to hit MSRP. I hope all the scalpers who are buying stuff and reselling them instantly get burned because prices are going to drop below MSRP. They're going to be holding bags, this and that, and this and that. And towards the end of last year, there were some products that were pretty close to MSRP. For example, Surging Sparks ETB at the end of last year, MSRP of a Surging Sparks ETB is about $50. And Surging Sparks is a pretty solid set. It's not the best set, but I would say it's a pretty solid set. Surging Sparks ETB is $50 MSRP plus tax is $55. There are a lot of Surging Sparks ETBs on the secondary market selling for $60, $65 at one point towards the end of last year. That's pretty close to MSRP. So for people saying that prices are going to hit MSRP and that people are going to get burned if they're buying products solely to sell it, I don't think that was the craziest thing to say. I still really didn't agree with it, but it wasn't the craziest thing to say because some products were pretty close to MSRP. Fast forward to now, barely any products are near MSRP. The only products near MSRP are probably some random, really non-popular collection boxes. But if you pick up any booster bundle, ETB, booster box, every single thing is over MSRP right now. Everything that's getting released, Ascended Heroes, I mean, all those products are way above MSRP. I know that's not really fair because Ascended Heroes is a really popular product or set with a lot of popular cards, a lot of popular Pokemon in it, Gengar, Dragonite, Pikachu, and the cards look really good. But even Perfect Order, a lot of people thought that Perfect Order, I know it hasn't come out yet so it can be different, but a lot of people thought that Perfect Order would be the set to slow down the market and make things hit MSRP. And I think I could be wrong on these numbers, but for Booster Box MSRP is I think $161. There was one point where on TCG Player pre-orders, the Booster Box was pretty close to $161. I think it was like $180 or something like that. Now the booster box is over $200 and there's a good amount selling. So it has seen a decent increase. I'm not saying that's going to stay that way. I know after pre-release, some things do dip. So I guess we'll wait and see. But at least at this moment, Perfect Order is higher than MSRP 2. And that set is not going to be popular in the sense of it doesn't have a lot of popular Pokemon. It's not gonna have a lot of Pokemon cards that have a lot that are a lot in value based on what I've seen of it. But we'll see on that set. But overall, basically every single Pokemon product is over MSRP right now. So I just want to have a little discussion. I don't really see many people anymore saying that Pokemon products are going to hit MSRP again. I hear a lot of people saying they want or wish Pokemon products are going to hit MSRP, but I feel like the crowd of people legitimately sitting there and saying Pokemon products are going to hit MSRP isn't as popular anymore just because of the huge demand, the huge surge. And if you've ever tried to find any Pokemon product, it's funny because I talk to some of my friends and talk about Pokemon. It'll come up here and there. And they don't really know much about Pokemon, but then some conversations, the point of like value will come up and, you know, investing in Pokemon products going up in price. And they're kind of confused. They're like, how does that make sense? I mean, what they remember of Pokemon is they were a kid, maybe bought some Pokemon cards, kept like the hollow base set Charizard in their pocket and just destroyed it, taking it to the playground and stuff. But I always tell them one thing. if you want to see how popular Pokemon cards are, try to get Pokemon cards yourself. And I think that alone just shows how high the demand is right now. If you ever try to get Pokemon products yourself, it's just so hard. Half the time there'll be a line already 2 hours before open. Really popular drops like Sam's Club where they announce when they're gonna drop something. By 5 a.m., there's already 100 people in line. So I think that alone shows how high the demand is. And I think that's the reason why, me personally, I do not see Pokemon products getting even close to MSRP in 2026. I just don't see it happening. The demand is so high compared to the supply, and Pokemon can be lying. I mean, they can say whatever, but a lot of people assume that Pokemon is printing to max capacity at this point. So there's nothing really much they can do. They're printing as much as they can. They're getting out things out there as much as they can. Unless they're just lying and they're holding back printers, which I just don't see why they would be doing it, because why wouldn't you print product when you know it's set, all products are selling out instantly no matter where you sell it from, whether it's a Pokemon Center website, it's Target, whether it's Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club, Best Buy, any place that has Pokemon cards, they're all selling out. So Pokemon isn't printing to max capacity at this point. I don't know what they're doing. They must have some crazy plan that I just don't know what's there. And that's the reason why I don't see Pokemon products hitting MSRP or even going close to MSRP this year. Can it change next year? I think it can. I'm sure a lot of you guys know, but Pokemon bought out a huge printing facility that they're saying is going to become operational, or a part of it is going to start being able to be operational at one point next year. So we'll see how much that affects the Pokemon demand and versus supply, because it is a huge lease. I think it was the biggest manufacturing lease in the United States last year. I made a video on it, but I think it's about over 5 million square footage of facility that they can use to print. Not all of it is going to be ready next year. I think they're going to create some of the buildings throughout the time, but part of it is ready to be used. So they're saying at some point next year, they'll be able to probably print some stuff then. So we'll see. I'm not saying that Pokemon products will never hit MSRP again. I do think there probably will come a time when Pokemon products on the secondary market will be MSRP or less. I don't think for the rest of my life that the general Pokemon product, no matter what it is going to be higher than MSRP. But just this year alone, seeing the trend, seeing every box just way over MSRP at this point, seeing the demand versus the supply, I just don't think that Pokemon products can go back to MSRP this year, because nothing's going to change. The only thing that can change is one day the demand just drops drastically out of nowhere. People just don't want to collect Pokemon cards anymore, or maybe there's just a huge scandal or something, or Pokemon just comes out, says something crazy, and that a lot of people leave the hobby. But just in general, there's a lot of new people coming in at this time. The demand is at an all-time high. Lines everywhere. Getting Pokemon product is impossible. So Pokemon products, in my opinion, are not going to go back to MSRP in 2026. Let me know what you think about that. I know that's not a popular take, because there's a lot of people that are frustrated that they can't get product right now. And I mean, I feel the same way. A lot of products are hard to get. You have to stand in line. You have to be in these notification groups. You got to be in friend groups where people know of things that are going to drop. And even if you do know, there's a chance you're not going to get it, because there's a lot of other people that are trying to get the drop and in groups to be able to go somewhere. You're trying to get something online. You're just combating a whole bunch of bots. And half the time, like for example, on Walmart, you can't even get anything manually because the bots get everything before you get it. So I understand it's frustrating. It's not a popular take. And I'm not talking about the frustrating part of it. I'm just talking about the prices of Pokemon. I don't see in 2026, especially with the 30th anniversary coming as well, that Pokemon products will hit MSRP or lower again. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you have thoughts or theories or opinions on Pokemon products and why they will hit MSRP this year. I'm talking specifically 2026, because like I said, the printing facility in 2027 can make things change, but just specifically in 2026, I don't think they're going to hit MSRP again. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with that. But I really appreciate you watching this. I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube. I'm mostly making these videos for my YouTube for long form content. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm kind of far. I'm only a little bit over 300, so I'm a long ways to go, but I will keep grinding. I will keep pumping out content. I will keep doing what seems to be working for me until I get to my goal, and then I'll have another goal. So I'd really appreciate it if you follow or subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. They're all TCG Collectors House. And I would really appreciate it if you would give me a like on my YouTube video, drop a comment. Those really help with the algorithm, because how YouTube works is when you don't really have many subscribers, I feel like the video comes out, it's not really in many people's feeds. But then as people watch it, watch long parts of it, like it, drop a comment, I think they'll slowly show it to more and more people. And then if those people like it, drop a comment, then they'll be shown to more and more people. So it really does help. But only do it if you do like watching the video. I mean, don't do it if you didn't like watching it. I don't want it just to get it. I only want it, and I only want hopefully people watching this video that enjoy just me rambling. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching me. It really means a lot to me. Your support really means a lot to me. And I'll see you next time.